Breaking news at this hour, the son of Hollywood power couple Rob and Michele Reiner returns to court for the arraignment in the case of murder of his parents. You see him right there behind glass. He pled not guilty to 2 counts of first-degree murder. Live now to CBS News correspondent Carter Evans, just stepping out from that hearing. This is the first time that I remember seeing Nick Reiner. In other appearances, he was behind a partition where you couldn't really get a shot of him. This time we're seeing him.
Yeah, and you could get a pretty good look at him as well. His hair was shaved pretty tightly. He was wearing a prison jumpsuit. It looked to me like he might be wearing handcuffs, but I was sitting at a different angle. The judge entered that not guilty plea for him, but I did find something interesting. He did say one word, and it was basically yes, but it was a resounding yes. The judge was setting a next hearing date for April 29th, which would jeopardize his right to a speedy trial, and she looked directly at him and asked if he understood that and if he was okay with it. And he looked back at her and calmly said yes. So that was interesting there, because I think what many people were wondering would perhaps happen here is that we would get some questions about mental competency, or maybe his public defender would ask for mental competency exams. Right. That did not happen today. They went ahead, entered that guilty plea, and we're moving forward towards the preliminary court date, preliminary hearing. But here's the thing, they got a ton of evidence, and the DA says they're turning that over to the defense right now.
Well, and then over the weekend, a lot of us had a chance to click on the link on our social media feed regarding Conan O'Brien. For our viewers, Conan O'Brien hosted a party the night of these murders. He's been pretty tight-lipped, Carter, about that night, but we're starting to hear from Conan O'Brien about what happened and his feelings.
Right, and he basically said that, you know, he was extremely sorry for what happened, and he talked about how odd it was to be one of the last people to say goodbye to one of his friends, having no idea what was about to happen. He said he was traumatized for several days after all of this happened, just trying to take it all in. And by the way, I want to get back to our district attorney here, Nathan Hochman. He spoke right after the hearing.
The case is on track. We have provided the bulk of discovery to defense counsel, and we are now waiting for the coroner's report. When that is provided to the district attorney's office, it will in turn be provided to defense counsel. The second point, this case is a death penalty eligible case. Along those lines, we take the process in which we determine whether or not the death penalty should be sought extremely seriously, and it goes through a very rigorous process. We will be looking at all aggravating and mitigating circumstances, and we have invited defense counsel to present to us, both in writing and orally in a meeting, any arguments that they would like to make in consideration for our going forward or not going forward with the death penalty.
Again, a not guilty plea entered today for Nick Reiner, and the next court date is April 29th. But because there is so much information coming out in discovery, and we actually don't even have an official coroner's report yet, it is possible that it could be delayed even further. This one could take a while, especially since it could potentially be a death penalty case. Reed?
Fresh from that courtroom where it all happened, Carter Evans, thank you so much for that update.